Well, good morning. You've joined us as we continue our journey through the book, Faith Without Religion, The Kingdom Quest. So if you don't have one of these, you can get them on Amazon. This is not about selling books. So if you're not a book person, there is a virtually free version, a digital download, I guess you call it an ebook, that's available on Amazon also. And if all else fails, you have these videos, so you can always rewind it and then stop it at various points if there's something particular that you feel that God is talking to you about. So today's entry is number 175, and the title is Perfect Timing. Press through in your understanding of times and flow, says God. It is far easier to stay on my agenda when you are in harmony with my timing. Set your physical clock to work in congruence with my spiritual clock and not the distorted version of the world. If your body is conditioned to walk with my spirit, it will work when it needs to work and sleep when it needs to sleep. These needs cannot be determined by the world's thinking, which will always be contrary to my plans. Use the knowledge that you have been given to infuse life into your bodies and let my spirit magnify that life. The enemy gleefully uses poor health, often caused by poor nutrition, to reduce the effectiveness of many people. Pharmaceutical medication disrupts the frequencies surrounding many, making it more difficult or even impossible for them to hear my voice. This is the season for making provision for what is soon to come. You should have an increased sense of urgency in all you do and be ever watchful for the signs. Beware though, do not spend so much time analyzing the deeper meanings in the signs that you neglect to prepare. Be looking for my glory and the clues that lead to righteous expectations. The signs of evil are in abundance, but be sure to let people know the error of spending time in the analysis of evil. Whichever way you hold it up to the light, its nature remains unchanged and must be dealt with in the spiritual realm and not the natural. There are many sheep who know every detail of every evil thing or conspiracy they discover, but still lack understanding in the truth of my word. Seek first the kingdom is the instruction. The keys to my kingdom are found in the knowledge and actions of the truth. Detailed knowledge of the components of evil may well help to some degree to avoid them, but it builds nothing on your foundation. Be sure what you learn to avoid from the enemy camp will lead you to righteous actions with eternal perspective. The purpose of knowledge should be simply to build faith, leading to action. For faith without works is dead. Knowledge that does not pertain to your faith is pointless. There are no rewards at my judgment seat for what you know, says God, only for what you do with what you know. Doing nothing with your knowledge also leads to loss. This further clarifies the necessity of being on my timeline and not that of the world. Once you overcome the ties to the timing of the world, you will find that you always have more than enough time to do what I require, an abundant time for rest, recreation, and restoration. My timing is always perfect. Well, can't argue with that. This again is another one. There's so much in there that you need to go through it paragraph by paragraph and just see what it is that God's telling you. Things like, if your body is conditioned to walk with my spirit, it will work when it needs to work and sleep when it needs to sleep. So how do you condition your body to walk with God's spirit? Well, you have to treat it the way that he told us to treat it. He told us that this is a temple. If it was a literal temple, would you do some of the things to it that you do to your body? I asked myself that question many times because I've done some pretty stupid things to my body. Put some silly stuff in through here, and allowed things to happen to it. You have to keep the body healthy. And that is as important as doing it from the inside outwards as well. And the only way you're going to do that in the world we're in today is to educate yourself about the reality of nutrition and how to feed yourself, the importance of drinking water, the right kind of water at the right times in the right quantities, the importance of getting the right amount of sleep. Most people are completely ignorant about these things. I know I was for many years. In fact, I would even brag how I could go to bed at midnight and get up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. That's not the way God put us together. You need to study these things. You don't need to take my word for it. There is an abundance of evidence out there, an abundance of teachings on how to feed the body. And one thing that you can use as a guide is that if anything anyone's ever telling you to eat is manufactured or the chemical equivalent of something, don't eat it. This body was designed to run on fuel. The Lord told us in the Word that he gave us the plants to eat, the leaves of the trees, the fruit of the trees. All these things that grow naturally are wonderful things for us to eat, as long as they're not covered in pesticides, which is a whole other conversation. We're going to do some more research and some teachings to help you to understand these things at a basic level. You don't need to go and become a professor of nutrition or anything like that, but you just need a basic understanding what to eat, what not to eat, when to eat it, how to eat it. Same like we said with the water, how much, when, what type. Sleep, that's just should be logical. But if you're not getting 8 hours sleep, you are cheating yourself and diminishing the potential that your physical body holds. So you've got to get that physical body tuned up, ready to follow the Lord's plan. He says, use the knowledge that you've been given to infuse life into your bodies. That's what he's talking about. We all have knowledge now at our fingertips to learn everything we could ever want to learn about health and nutrition. And we don't need to be wrapping our arms around the magicians and the sorcerers. Remember what it said in the Word? Avoid the magicians and the sorcerers. So the fact that the Greek word for magic is pharmakia, doesn't take a genius to figure out who the magicians and the sorcerers are. And I think we'll leave it at that for today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. You have a blessed day. Bye for now.